This is what happens when ideology runs a power grid. What we're dealing with today are a leftover and a hangover from poor decisions by the NDP. They phased out coal too early. Coal was a long-term, sustainable way to provide low power. They phased it out early, costing billions of dollars. We are still going to be paying hundreds of millions of dollars until 2030 for the stranded assets because of that investment. At the same time, they, for some reason, felt that they could bring on an equivalent amount of wind and solar and get the same amount of power as coal, and you cannot do that. Wind and solar are intermittent, and so we have had to build additional redundancy. That costs money. In addition, coal and natural gas plants are 800 megawatts. The typical wind and solar is 20 or 50 megawatts, which requires massively more transmission and distribution to be built. And as a result, because of intermittency, redundancy, early phase out of coal, we are now at a point 4 years later where people are paying up to 32 cents per kilowatt hour for power. We are not going to allow this to continue to happen. That's why we oppose the federal government's plan to get to a net zero power grid by 2035. The most recent report that was put out said that would cost $1.7 trillion. I haven't even seen an estimate of how much that would increase our power bills, but I'm told it could be up to 5 times higher. So if anybody is wondering why we are battling so hard with the federal government to make sure that we have a reasonable period of time to phase in lower emission source of power, this is why. It's because ideology from the NDP and their federal counterparts in the Liberal Party have created the problem that we have today, and we're going to fix it.